Yes, there are a few key issues that have been emerging here in the course of the Gold Coast Symposium. One of them is this role of the expanding roles of information technology in order to manage the vast array of information resources that are now available to governments. So responding by hiring chief digital officer roles, chief data officer roles, how do they relate to the traditional role of the chief information officer? So we're working with clients around the world to better delineate those roles and responsibilities. Gartner certainly predicts that ultimately these roles will be integrated into one overarching information management role, perhaps a chief technology officer who's bringing greater value for the IT spend and the infrastructure, and that chief information officer or chief digital information officer will really be the single point of accountability for information assets and how they are being used to both engage the workforce and citizens. Similarly, with the hyper-connected world in which government finds itself in this new digital industrial economy, the role of government, while it may not change at its core, certainly the way in which it operates will change, and with it the role of the IT service organization. So many of the conversations we're having with government CIOs today involve what should that IT service organization look like? What services should it provide that are core to the agency they're serving, and which services can we look to alternative sourcing or selective sourcing to provide better value and service to the customers we serve. And so this is a very dynamic time for government CIOs to really lay out that long-term roadmap, at the same time meet the immediate needs of cost containment and bringing greater innovation into their organizations. One of the challenges in the public sector with regard to innovation is, can you also take on a level of risk that accompanies that innovation? Can you do that responsibly? So we're also working with government CIOs around that. With this hyper-connected world that government finds itself in, the issues of confidentiality and privacy, and maintaining both in a responsible way and according to both law and regulation and expectations of citizens, is also a tension that has to be reconciled. And so government CIOs are trying to work through that maze of bringing more information that is useful to both workers and to citizens, and at the same time balance that with the needs for confidentiality and privacy. We're also seeing a greater emphasis on reforming procurement. The way that IT procurement traditionally occurs in government is very much outmoded relative to both the expectations of citizens and of the business units that IT serves, as well as the workers themselves. So how can we revise our IT procurement, or ultimately reform them and get as innovative in the way in which we acquire IT services and products as we are trying to innovate our business models. All of these forces are at play and very much at the top of mind for the government CIOs we're speaking with.